got Dallas, make it hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah, I'm here. Let's go. I'm in the building. It's been a minute, but I'm here. Welcome once again to the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show. Oh my goodness, that is being seen and heard live right now as we speak on many platforms right now on the YouTube channel, the Big Time Show. It is also being seen on Facebook on the Big Time Show page as well as my personal page. It's on Twitch right now, live, and on Twitter right now. And I guess I need to put that up while I am here, since I'm saying all these places. You know, some people like their own preference of where they want to see the show at. So we'll just do it like that. There you go. What's going on? Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. It's time. It's time. So if it's 3 o'clock, I understand there's a plethora of football games on. I know your favorite college team is playing. My nephew is playing a little bit later this evening. They're playing Wyoming, of course, playing BYU tonight. Later this evening, somewhere around 8, 9 o'clock or whatever it is. But I'll be glued in on that. I understand the Canelo Alvarez fights tonight. I understand that Sean O'Malley from the UFC is fighting tonight. I understand all that. But at 3 o'clock, I don't care what's going on. It is time for the Big Time Show, and I'm glad that some of you have popped on. Do me a favor and share it if you can. If you don't mind, do me a favor and share it. I would appreciate it so much if you would. If not, hit that like button for me. Hit the like button for me. Hit the like button. Give me about 20 likes apiece. My nephew, man, is Devin Body Jr., number 2. For the Wyoming Cowboys. He's a starter. He scored a touchdown last week. Unfortunately, though, Wyoming is off to a real tough, unexpected start. They are 0-2. Very shocking loss last week, but you got to pick yourself up and you got to go to work. So he'll be playing, obviously, tonight. Looking forward to it. Any chance I get to see my nephew play, I'm looking forward to it. So I gave him my little text this morning, and he had enough little time to hit me back. Tried to encourage him, said, let's go. Hey, gotta go to work. It's time to go to work. So I'll be anxiously awaiting to see what he has to offer tonight. If you're a sports fan, tonight is a great night. I mean, it is on everywhere tonight. So whatever you're watching, Hope you enjoy yourself. But for now, y'all already know what time it is. Yeah. You know, I'm still waiting on a few folks I ain't seen in a few weeks. You know, they don't want to deal with me. I'm really waiting to see them. I ain't seen them in the last two shows. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? I ain't seen them. I ain't seen two of these guys. They usually every time I start up, come in talking trash. I guess they don't want to deal with the reality. I told them I'm looking for them. I told them that. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting because I got a few questions I need to ask. Just a few questions. What's up, Joe? Let me speak to everybody while you're here. What is up? It's Ty in the building. What's going on? Miss Regina, how you doing? LILMONKSTKA5254. What's going on? I can't even pronounce that. Miss Gwen, how you doing? Texas Twister, what's up? I already spoke to TA. Joe, what's up? Appreciate all y'all. Good to have y'all with me, hanging with me again. Let's go to work. Y'all know what y'all come here for. I ain't talked to y'all all week except Monday. Forgive me if I sound a little strange. I have a cold, so I'm trying to work through it. Hopefully I don't sound too bad. But if I do, y'all just forgive me, and then I'll find it. Yeah, Joe, yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, I ain't seen them. I ain't usually on my show starting off with a bang. There's one more out there, but I haven't seen them. Ever since CD signed and then Dak signed, I ain't heard from them. Maybe they might make their special appearance. I got a few questions for them. That's all. I ain't gonna do it bad. I just got a few questions. That's all. And that's all. All right. Big game coming up on tomorrow. Huge game. As the Saints come into Dallas, first home game of the year. And they're coming in riding high. They put up 40. I don't care who they played, which was the Carolina Panthers. The bottom line is that they put up 40. They put up 40. They won handedly. They got their confidence up. Hey, you play who's on the schedule. And they just so happen to open up with the Carolina Panthers, and they literally destroyed them, as most people thought they would, but not, in that fashion, but they beat them. So that's all that matters. They come in riding high, coming against Dallas, who's riding high as well, off beating the Cleveland Browns. Blew them out, 33-17. That's a blowout in NFL terms. And we're riding high as usual. The Cowboys were the talk of the town all week, as the pundits and the known haters and the closet haters all tried to draw up another narrative. The Cowboys are already making them change their narratives already. 1 week, all it took. See, instead of giving the Cowboys credit for winning, let me see if y'all notice what I noticed real quick. We'll get to the game in just a second. Let me see if y'all notice what I noticed. Do y'all notice this? Every time before we play, before the kickoff, do you notice how good the teams are that we're playing? That's what they say. They're good. Y'all remember all the talk before we played Cleveland, how they were saying they had the number one defense in the league. They were a playoff team last year. They run the ball down your throat. They're a good team, and Joe Flacco is not playing, so Deshaun Watson is playing, and how much better the Cleveland Browns will be probably with Deshaun there instead of Joe Flacco. because Flacco can't move. He can't, he's a stationary target. This is all that we heard before the game. And then as soon as we go down there and literally stomp a mud hole in Cleveland, the narrative changed like Cleveland wasn't no good. Yeah, have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed how all of a sudden everybody talking bad about Cleveland instead of just giving the Cowboys credit? Was it a mixture of Cleveland just being that bad, or was it really Dallas and what they're doing? They changed it up. Instead of giving the Cowboys credit, they automatically, have y'all noticed that instead of giving the Cowboys credit, see, this is the new narrative for the Cowboys. They already showed the hand. You know what I'm saying? They've already have taken the Cowboys up solely to the Super Bowl. Well, this is how they're saying it, because everybody's saying the same thing. The Cowboys are a regular season team, and this is what they do. They win the regular season game, and we'll wait till January to see what the Cowboys really all about. So what they're doing is they're giving their excuse to not give the Cowboys any credit for any win until January. But they'll be the first ones to start running them out. You'll see Stephen A. Smith do his little Twitter thing as soon as the Cowboy lose, put his little cowboy hat on, start talking trash when the Cowboys lose. But you just said we'll wait until January before we talk. See what I'm saying? Y'all notice all this? Are y'all seeing what they're trying to do? They don't want to see. Let me throw a theory out here. All right, I'm about to say something. Do you realize that some of these people that we're seeing on TV have votes for Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP of the league? Do y'all realize that? And the ones that have it are legitimately all are Cowboy haters. Could that be the reason why Dak Prescott really didn't win the MVP last year? Because he had a better year than Lamar Jackson, other than running the ball. I mean, hello, somebody. He really did. Y'all know that. But when you got people who are dedicated, because of course, for the sake of their shows, they have to, keep the ratings up by hating the Cowboys. Y'all understand? First Take would not be what it is all these years if it was not for Stephen A. and Skip Bayless together. Skip holding up the flag of the Cowboys and the hater, Stephen A. Smith, talking bad about the Cowboys. They wouldn't be number one if it wasn't to Stephen A.'s credit. He rolled that all the way up to whatever he getting paid from ESPN now. About to get another contract. Could it be that the Dallas Cowboys are the reason why Stephen A. Smith has a lot of zeros by his name? It wasn't the NBA that brought him to stardom. It wasn't the NBA, even though that's really what he covers. He made some, he had a status, but it was this First Take and the hollering about the Cowboys and making up songs and how about them Cowboys and all that. That's what took him to superstardom. Could it be that's the reason why he's getting it? LaShawn McCoy. Excuse me. LaShawn McCoy ain't nobody until he started talking about the Cowboys. I hope y'all noticing this. So, in order to keep their ratings up, they have to talk bad about the Cowboys. And then a lot of them are Cowboy haters. When they were playing, they were Cowboy haters. When they got out, they will not give credit. So the way they back out of giving the Cowboys credit is saying, well, you know what the Cowboys are going to do. You know they're gonna play well. Dak Prescott is a regular season quarterback. This is what he does. He always put up big numbers and all that in the regular season. We'll wait till January. That's what everybody is saying. Last year they were saying, see, they already done shut them up, the Cowboys have, because they already did it by beating Cleveland last week. See, this is what happened. Y'all notice what it was? Y'all remember the other thing when they said, hey, the Cowboys can't beat nobody, can't beat a playoff team. They can't beat a playoff team. They only beat up on teams that are below 500. Well, week one, they already killed that, didn't they? Team above, well be above 500 and a playoff team. But now they want to flip it and act like Cleveland wasn't a playoff team. Want to talk about them like they about to pick number one in the draft all of a sudden. You see how quick it was before the game? Deshaun Watson was all this and all that. After the game, they're saying maybe they need to do a quarterback change. Did y'all hear all that this week? It's unbelievable. And just saying, what's up, Sports Junkie? It's unbelievable. Why don't you just say, hey, the Cowboys really took it to them? Instead, they want to find excuses and not give credit for credit. That's okay. That's okay. I just want to know that y'all see all that this week. That's all. They're going to continue to do it. I just want to see it, but I'm going to bust them. That's what part of my show is going to be about. I'm going to bust them just as soon as I get on this microphone. They are born haters, and they're trying to diminish the team's success, the team, the individual players, and what they do. Cowboys played an outstanding game last Sunday. I'm not here to recap the Browns and the Cowboy game. They played an outstanding game. It wasn't about numbers and all that. It's just amazing to me how good teams are before the kickoff. And then when the Cowboys put foots in them, then all of a sudden, they are complete trash. It's unbelievable. Now, you haven't heard that about tomorrow. You haven't heard that. You haven't heard that about tomorrow. You haven't heard that about tomorrow. The Saints, they got them a little respect. They're not going in, but the disrespect is already there. Even Vegas is in on it, y'all. Have y'all noticed the line for the game tomorrow? Unless it changed. The last time I checked, the line was a 7-point line for the Cowboys. Usually at home, you usually get 3, and then when they really figure you're going to win, they'll bump it up to maybe 4 or 5. When you're a 7-point favorite in a game, according to Vegas like that, really what they're saying is they expect this to be a blowout. See what I'm saying? It's amazing to me. Now all of a sudden, Vegas is in on saying, oh yeah, the Cowboys are real. The Cowboys, they're doing it and trying to say, it's just amazing to me. And I think, in truth be told, I think the Cowboys should be a 7-point favorite. I believe that. Yeah. See, y'all see it. Chris, there it is. Chris says, before the game, we had a terrible offseason and looked like we rebuild. And after the game, we're Super Bowl contenders. Have you heard the narrative, Chris? Have you heard the narrative of what they said now? At first, I can't act like I'm innocent. I killed Jerry and Steven for the way they handled the offseason. But I can do that because I kind of, in my own way, covered them. I believe they could have signed CD a long time ago. If they really wanted to sign Dak, they could have signed Dak a long time ago. They had to wait till the day of. I mean, like they really made a real big difference. But, I believe they could have done that. I believe that they could at least got one major free agent to, do all that. But have you noticed, Chris? Have you noticed how they have twisted it that quick? I saw somebody say this is the best roster since 1995. I said, good Lord, man, y'all killing me. This may be the best Dallas Cowboy team that we've seen. Went past their 12-5, 3 straight 12-5 season. I'm saying, like, Man, y'all, one win. Just one win. Just make everything just disappear. Yeah, they just kill me, man, with this. They really are. But nevertheless, I'm gonna let them have their fun, and then I'm just gonna come on here and light them up just as soon as I grab the microphone. Because I see the game. You want to dismiss, see, that's how you do it. When you got voters for special awards, and the reason why I'm saying that, some of these guys have that in their contracts as bonuses. You become MVP of the league, you get X amount of dollars. You make all pro, you make a Pro Bowl, you get X amount of dollars for making it. So, but when you got born haters that are voting, you just may not get your money. Just as simple. All right. For instance, on the show that LaShawn McCoy is on, the host, what's the guy's name? Used to play ball, Acho, whatever his name, Acho, Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor has a vote. The host, I don't know if I'm calling the game the right dude's name. I think LaShawn McCoy has a vote. I think he does. The reason why I know because he said it, I believe. The host of that show, what's the guy's name? I don't know, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We used to play for the Saints. We used to work for the Cowboys and all that kind of stuff. He has a vote, bottom line. All right. I really believe that the hatred of the Cowboys really cost some things. Ocho, exactly. I think Keyshawn Johnson does not have a vote yet. Stephen A. Smith has, I think somebody put that out there. I was stopping. Stephen A. Smith does not have an NFL vote. He has NBA votes for the superlatives and all that stuff. But before long, as much as he talked about football, eventually they're going to sneak him in. He's going to get a football vote too. So, but when you're a born hater, you're biased. See what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. So now that here as we lead into the Saint game, here's what they're saying. Well, we know Dak is Dak is just a regular season. We don't even want to talk about the Cowboys in January. We don't even want to. In other words, they don't want to give no credit to it, but they'll be quick to yap their mouth real good if the Cowboys lose a game. See what I'm saying? All right, let me get to it. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what I did not say last week, you may not have heard it last week, but let's say this. If you remember on this show, I have done it at least about 6 or 7 times. I have gotten out the schedule, and I said this schedule that the Cowboys have will tell us the story immediately on what kind of year we're going to have. I've been telling y'all that. I've been saying that if they don't show up, we are going to be by the bye week at least 2-4, something like that. If they don't show up, that's what I said. I didn't say they were not showing up. I think Dan Orlovsky does have a vote, Brian. I think he does. I think he does have a vote for that. Hey, Michelle Ransom. Hey, and don't do it, y'all. I see when I said that, I know what y'all doing. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? I ain't gonna even say it because I already know what y'all. I know y'all. Y'all, don't do it. Don't do it, y'all. Michelle, look, unfortunately, Michelle, you just have a very popular name. Not your name per se, but the name Michelle is very hot right now, as I'm quite sure you know by now. Colin Coward. Oh. Yeah, me too, Michelle. I'm ready for tomorrow. Hey, since you're here, subscribe to my little channel there if you don't mind. Or like my channel and then turn on those live notifications, Michelle, and we'll go. Yeah, you already know. What's up, Keystone? What's up? You already know, Michelle. I ain't gonna even say it because I ain't gonna even do you like that. All right. I think Colin Cowherd does have a vote. or whoever that asked me that before. I think that was yeah. I don't want to mispronounce your name, brother, so I just put your name up there. I think he does have a vote. And I'm saying, when you look at the people, the broadcasters of these shows that have votes, you may understand why not Dak won the MVP. They don't want to give Dak credit, Scott, no credit. They don't. Which leads to tomorrow's game. Don't do it, Brian. Don't do it. No, I don't think Shannon Sharp has a vote yet. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. He does not. I don't think he does not. I wish there was a list. There's got to be some type of list. LaMonster, I got you now. I got you now, LaMonster. I'm serious, DP. Once you really think about it, now, don't get it wrong. The Hall of Fame people are different than, and some of them have it. But the Hall of Fame guys are different. Then those are real sportscasters. You had to have so many years, all that type of stuff. But as far as all pro and MVP and offensive and defensive player of the year, those guys, some of these guys that you're seeing on TV from Fox, ESPN, Dan Orlovsky's, these people have votes. And once you hear that, it kind of make you, it kind of make it easy to see why Dak may have not been MVP last year. Because I say it again, he did have a better year than Lamar Jackson. No question about it. He been on any other team, he probably been MVP. No doubt in my mind. Forget all that. That's last year. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to show you how the media is working. And thank God for the content creators that come out here and just, we ain't getting paid by ESPN, Fox. We just come out and tell our opinion, our truth in some ways, and try to combat what we're saying. Let's get to tomorrow, because let's go. Tomorrow, I looked at the film. Not as extensive as I did against the Browns. I looked at them. I'm going to go ahead and give you about 3 or 4 things and see if you agree. You can add in the chat. Depending on how much time I got left, I might even open up the call line today. All right. Here's what I believe. I looked at the New Orleans Saints offense. Now, they got Kubiak as their coordinator. Kubiak comes from Kyle Shanahan. Okay? Kyle Shanahan has a nice little tree that's formulating about assistants who got other coaching jobs and all that. He comes from it, and you can see the influence of Kubiak's offense because it almost looks exactly like a Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, the coach of the Rams. His offense kind of looks like that. And what do I mean? We are getting ready to see, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow. Yes, this is why it's a huge game. Listen to me and listen to me good. We are about to see if we have graduated from the horrible game against Green Bay in the playoffs last year. Why am I saying that? Because it was last year that the offensive coordinator, head coach of the Green Bay Packers, totally embarrassed us by using motion. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Like, for those that have watched the film this week, you'll notice that the New Orleans Saints do a whole lot of motion. They try to get you. What's up, Con, man? I see you, brother. They try to get you off balance. They use motion to find out what formation that you're in. If your linebacker follow this guy, that's a tell sign that you're in man. If they don't move, it tells you're in zone. They use a lot of motion. That's what New Orleans does. That is what has given the Cowboys for the last 2 to 3 years the most problems. Are the teams that do a whole lot of motion, and You remember the Green Bay game? You remember how everybody was just wide open? We had guys even in the screen. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're getting ready to see tomorrow. And what I'm about to say is tomorrow we will see the effects of having Mike Zimmer on our team. To me, that really is almost what it's all about, y'all. For real. For real, y'all. Y'all excuse me for that. Oh, yeah, I got a cold, so y'all got to forgive me. All right. That is the real. We're about to find out very early the effects of Mike Zimmer. Because Mike Zimmer, it is known that Mike Zimmer gives the Shanahan problems. What you've been hearing this week is that Mike Zimmer give everybody problems. But specifically, he has always given Kyle Shanahan super problems. He knows how to play this type of exactly, Jay Bird. This is where we're about to find out, because the system, not knocking Dan Quinn, because personally I believe Dan Quinn is a great coordinator. He got Super Bowl rings on his finger, Dan Quinn does, to prove that he is. Defenses are always up there. We cannot diminish what Dan Quinn did for our defense. We can't even argue that. We know he was good. But he was an aggressive, man-to-man type coordinator. Can't argue with it. We only lost 5 games each per season last 3 years. Can't knock Dan Quinn. I'm not going to do it. I like him. However, he did get cracked when he played against the 49ers. We had problems with it. A lot of motion. He got cracked against Green Bay. A lot of motion. It really was. And of course, we don't want to break all that down about the run defense. We know that we didn't have linebackers last year, which was a big thing. It is what it is. We're getting ready to see how trained our defenders' eyes are. Can they make the right calls when all the shifting and stuff goes on? This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if y'all heard this before this week. This is why a player like Eric Kendricks is so valuable. If y'all didn't see the effect of Eric Kendricks last week, I don't know what TV you got. See, when you got a lot of motions and movement and all that type of stuff, you better have a guy that knows how to get the players in the proper position. That's what Kendricks does. We're about to find out what's getting ready to happen. Now, I really believe Mike Zimmer is about to show us why. I believe it's his game tomorrow. That's what I'm figuring out. I'm saying tomorrow is a Mike Zimmer game. That's what after looking at it, because see, if you let the Saints get just a little hot, they can put points on the board. They got personnel. They have personnel. They do. They have, of course, Derek Carr. They have, of course, Kamara. They have Chris Olave. They have Tyson Hill. They have, they got Cedric Wilson. Our player that we used to play with, Cedric Wilson, will be playing there tomorrow. There are guys on this team that can burn you if you don't watch out. There's some guys that I understand it was Carolina last week. I understand that. I understand Carolina's not on everybody's lips of being a good team, but They did put it up. They got some players on offense, and you better pay attention to what's going on. So I ain't worried about that. I really believe that's point number one. I think that this is a Zimmer game tomorrow to show his worth. I mean, I already know his worth, but I'm just saying you really want to see why, because this is for the future. Because this is what he's known for shutting offenses down like this and like to move a whole lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to offer. All right. Here's the other thing about New Orleans offense and our defense. Unfortunately for New Orleans, they coming in here a little weak on the offensive line. Yeah. Their tackle is having back issues. And he's very questionable for playing. He's not doubtful, but he's questionable for playing. And he has back issues. Well, you already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna shoot him up in the back, and in the locker room before he come out. He's gonna come out and play, but his mobility obviously is not right. They're gonna put him out there. The other guy, the All-Pro Ryan, goodness, get his name, a Wycheck or whatever his name is. He's not playing tomorrow. So you got a offensive tackle. Get the picture, y'all. Offensive tackle he has a bad back. And you're about to see DeMarcus Lawrence, Michael Parsons, et cetera, tomorrow. Good luck with that. I believe we're going to do the same thing that we did against Cleveland. We are going to hit the quarterback several times. I don't know if we're going to get as many sacks as we got last week, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did. You can't go against this team. What's up, Terry? You can't go against this team talking about your offensive lineman. And talking about he's got a back problem. This the wrong team. This the wrong team to be talking about that. And you gonna put him out there. You gonna get that Mr. Carr roughed up pretty good. Here's the thing about Carr. Carr really is a pocket passer. He has mobility. He has mobility, but he's really a pocket quarterback, which means he ain't gonna be hard to find. He'll be standing there. The job for us is to get him off his spot. Get him off his spot, we can really handle him pretty good. He ain't gonna get away from nobody, so he ain't gonna be hard to find. Keep that in mind, y'all. Now, on the defensive line. So let me go back. So they threw a lot of short stuff last week. Talking about the Saints. They really want to throw on a lot of bombs. They really control the clock. They really threw a lot of short stuff because they're trying to get the ball out pretty quick and do it like that. They don't think that their offensive line, it's just my opinion, I don't think they think their offensive line can hold up to a real big passer. So they're trying to get the ball out quick, which then make me ask this question. And y'all help me out. Come on, GMs and coaches. Let's play armchair quarterback real quick. If the Saints do what I think they're gonna do, and that is get it out quick, are we about to see last week we kept everything in front of us defensively. We ran zone, but we also ran some man-to-man defense. I'm talking about the secondary now, but we did a lot more zone than we did man-to-man defense. However, an argument could be made that we probably do need to go a little bit more man this week. Are y'all comfortable Are y'all comfortable with Carson, even though he played a great game last week? He did. Diggs played well too. Are we gonna do some man this week? Last week did a little bit more zone than we did man. Did a lot more zone. Are y'all comfortable with going man? Have y'all seen enough of Carson and y'all believe in him and let him be on the island? Or y'all a little skeptical? Me personally, I answer my question. I don't want to go to man. That Coach Breedlove. Hey, Coach, I see you. Coach Breedlove, football coach in his own right, says that if they were going short, should run a cover two, which means your cornerback is up, almost like press coverage. Put your hands on them, then let them go. There's a safety that's over the top, right over the top. So you run kind of like a too high safety type look. When you run a cover two, press your corners. You don't have to, but what coach is saying, press your corners, put your hands on them, rough them up a little bit, and then go there. However, let me throw this out. If we go with that, what coach said, that if you got your two safeties at the back, you then are asking to be ran on. Do you have enough confidence in your run defense after 1 week to say that they're going to get the job done? That's just the bottom line. Do y'all believe in the run defense? We ain't seen but 1 week. It's very impressive, though. Let me throw this in. What people ain't saying, Deshaun Watson had 39 yards rushing. They only had about 51 yards, 52 yards or something. It mean Deshaun Watson was the man. I mean, I'm just saying he had 39 yards of the 52 or 53 yards they had last week. They really run the ball real on us. Deshaun Watson was the lead rusher, I believe. Which tells you that the defense did well running the ball. They got behind, of course, which is what the Cowboys do. They go ahead and get a big lead and make you run the ball. Now, you'll be crazy unless the Cowboys go up 21-0, 28-0. That's the only way you're really going to take the ball out of Kamara's hand as far as running goes. But if the game is tight, Kamara's going to run that ball. So I'm just saying, if we went with what Coach Breedlove said, which I actually like, do you have enough confidence in having a too high safety look? And that's, like I said, that's a key that you just saying, hey, we're trying to stop the pass. And we'll, if you had the choice, you got to run because you got a light box. You got a real light box there. So are you are you confident in your run defense to go that route? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. I got to see more. Coach said, and thank you, Coach. Coach is this is why I'm glad Coach Breedlove is here, who's been with me for a couple years now. He says our Mike and Sam backers have to come downhill and fill both A gaps, which they can. We saw that last week between Kendricks and, just in case y'all don't know the terminology, when you say Mike, that's middle linebacker because of the M, and then the Sam is the strong linebacker, not the weak side, strong. So our strong linebacker is Damone Clark. Our weak side, am I wrong on that, y'all? Yeah, I think I am right. Hey, Robert, what's up? Let me put this out here. After what I saw last week, DeMar and Overshown can play either one. I mean, so I don't. He look. I'll get into him just in a second, but yeah, Tyson Hill, Brian, is a Tyson Hill is a weapon for them. Tyson Hill can play tight end. He can run the ball. He can play quarterback. I mean, he's kind of like a chess piece. He's a football player. If you can get a Tyson Hill on your team, you'll take it. He's a pretty good football player. I like him. I really do. I like Tyson Hill. But let me say this. If our defensive tackles do what they did last week, then I don't care who running the ball for the Saints. It's going to be a problem. I looked at the film, y'all. I know y'all didn't, some of you may have. But if y'all go look at the film, Martin Smith played pretty good last week. Now, I know nobody ain't saying it, but I'm saying it. I looked at him. I watched every play of Martin Smith. Martin Smith played a pretty good game last week. It didn't show up in the stats, but he did what he was asked to do. That is, eat up blocks and hold your ground. Did y'all notice how Overshown and Kendricks was just flying in there like nobody didn't touch him? That's the truth. Because nobody did touch him. Because it took two men to block Mozzie. It took two men to get on Lavelle Joseph. Phillips played pretty decent. I'm serious, y'all. So the problem, what was not a problem, what Coach Breedlove just said about they got to come downhill. They can't. They will if they running free. If they're running free like they did, if they running free like they did last Sunday, it's going to be a problem. Did y'all know quiet as kept? Did y'all know that DeMarvin Overshown was the leading tackler last Sunday? Double-digit tackles. And he had about 11 or 12. Y'all didn't even know that, did you? DeMarvin Overshown was the leading tackler. Now, Kendricks got the press because he had a couple sacks and an interception and all that. But Overshown was like, he jumped off the field. Let me just go on and tell y'all this. This is what I want to say. I said it last year. Unfortunately, he got hurt. A lot. Excuse me. I saw him. DeMarvin Overshown, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all something. Okay? DeMarvin Overshown is a future All-Pro player. I didn't say this year. I'm telling y'all, mark it down. DeMarvin Overshown is a problem. He's that type of guy. We done fell up on, I'm telling y'all, I'm already calling it. We done fell up on a superstar. But big time, he ain't played but one game. If you know football, when you see it, you know it. I'm telling y'all, the future of the defense, we started talking about paying Michael Parsons and Trayvon Diggs, and we got Bland. You better put another comma there, and you better add DeMarvin Overshown to that list. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm telling you. When he's on the field, he pops off the screen. He is electric. He is a problem. He almost looked like he can't be blocked. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Y'all got to go see this dude. I'm talking about on play that he didn't make. That's what I'm talking about. The intensity, the suddenness. This dude is the truth. Now, y'all mark it down. Y'all heard it here first. All-Pro player. I ain't say this year. Get ready for it. Now, let me move on to my next point. Y'all forgive me, I got my iPad here. the notes. What I got here. All right. Offensively, here we go. Again, I got the same game plan or the same question that I had last week. And that is, we got the players on offense. We have it. But now this is where the coaching part comes in and how you use them. Okay? So here's my question about Mike McCarthy. How are you going to play the Saints? Because the Saints have guys that I still respect. They're not what they once were, but you can't play with them like they just trash. Such as Cameron Jordan, perennial All-Pro, Pro Bowl player, plays defensive end. Was known for years as a game record. Still can get the job done. One as potent as he was 4 or 5 years ago, but he still is a problem. Then you got Davis as their middle linebacker, who was a Pro Bowl player last year. Mario Davis, who's their lead tackler, who comes off the tape. He flies off the tape when you look at him play. Still fast, always around the ball. He's a problem. Then you got the Honey Badger back there at safety. And the Honey Badger is not what he once was, but everybody knows about the Honey Badger, Tyrone Matthew, whatever one you want to call him. He's so smart and instinctive that you got to be careful where you put the ball with him around, because he's a playmaker. He is a ball hawk. And then Marshawn Lattimore, who's an all-pro cornerback, I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. I don't think. They haven't said it, but it looks like, according to the reports, it's going to be kind of hard for him to get on the field tomorrow. So that means that we have a backup cornerback who played last week. Of course, we ain't the Panthers, okay? We're not the Panthers, so they couldn't take advantage of it. We can. So my question is, will Mike McCarthy do what I've always said he's going to do, and that is be pass happy? You know what I'm saying? I never believed he was going to run the ball anyway. Even though when you look at what the Cowboys did last week, quiet as it's kept, I think they ran 26 or 27 times. That includes the quarterback sneak from Dak. That includes the jet sweeps as well that we ran last week. I believe I'm right. I think we ran about 27 times last week. I thought we did. That's what I'm looking for. Let me look at that last week. I just want to make sure. I want to be accurate. I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about now. Because, hey, Freight Train, what's up? Appreciate you popping in. Just want to see. I just want to see. Forgive me for. We ran about 25 times for 102 yards. See, I'll take that. I would take that all week. Because if you would have told me last week that the Cowboys would have ran the ball totally 25 times, I would have said ain't no way in the world. McCarthy ain't even run the ball like that. He fooled me. 25 times last week. He did. Will he do that again this week? Especially when all signs point that the secondary may be the weak spot of their defense. Now, I'm not saying he don't supposed to pass it at all. I'm not saying we supposed to be gutting it out and all that. I just don't want Dak throwing the ball 35, 37 times tomorrow. I don't want it. Me personally, I've never wanted Dak to throw it like that. It's just going to be interesting to see the scheme of how he's going to attack it. Now, I just said something about Cameron Jordan. Well, I ain't saying he Myles Garrett, but I am saying you got to respect him. So, if you run it, let's run straight at him. Let's run it at him. Let's not run away from him. Run at him so we can get him tired. See what I'm saying? I mean, this is not hard. This is simple football. Find the weakness, exploit it, and then make a weakness. And I'm saying that if you run at Cameron Jordan enough, he will turn into a weakness. Oh, one more time, because some of y'all weren't with me Monday. Can we give a hand clap emoji to Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton? Now, I expected them to do pretty good, but I didn't know that they're going to play that well. Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe, first game, I mean, it's only going to get better. we can win football games if your line is the truth. If your offensive line is the truth, you're going to win a lot of football games. But their first time jumping out there and pretty much the unit playing together for the first time. You know, that was their first time together. Not bad. Not bad at all. Matter of fact, pretty good. So I say give them some more confidence by calling running plays and not let them knock their head off. Knock some of these guys backwards. I can see that happening. It's all about how Mike McCarthy attacks it, in other words. Dak gonna be Dak. Dak is gonna, at this point, I ain't worried about Dak at all. Dak is gonna do what he gotta do. I ain't worried about CD. He gonna do what he gotta do. There's one question mark on offense. I don't think Jake Ferguson is going to play tomorrow. So Schoonmaker look like he gonna get his start. And I'm worried about my boy because he ain't showing me nothing. So Schoonmaker will do that. You got Ford, who also will be out there. As far as the tight end goes, I'm shocked that John Stevens is not getting the love. He's not going to. I think he's going to be inactive tomorrow again. I think so. And so we'll see how Schoonmaker shows up. All right. Joe says he predicts Dak throwing 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Let me say this. The chat was going pretty good. So if I missed your comment, one way that you can definitely do it if you're on YouTube, you can do the super chat. I stopped and I definitely do that. I'm trying to read as many as I can, but I'm trying to also do my notes, so I might miss a few comments as well for that. So forgive me. It is what it is. All right. It just depends on Mike McCarthy's scheme. I think we can put points on these guys. It just really, Font is playing tomorrow too. I really, I would love to see, Zeke is running back one, got some carries, look good to, the limited times he carried the ball. I would love to see Rico. Yeah, I know Stevens is still out with the hamstring, I understand. I would love to see Rico get more carries. And I even like to see Deuce get a few. But I give Mike McCarthy credit because they ran the ball 25 times for over 100 yards. I'll take that every week. I would take that every week. You wouldn't even have to, I'll take it. That lets me know that there's real balance going on. Sure, some want to see Dak throw for 250 plus, 300 yards and all that. But the game didn't call for that. And I applaud Coach McCarthy for staying true to the game plan. The game plan obviously called for a lot of runs, which I was shocked that it happened, so I had to give him credit. We'll see what it's like tomorrow. All right. The Saints are coming in hurting as far as depth goes. There's some weaknesses on the offensive line. Y'all remember Trevor Penning? That's an offensive lineman that a lot of y'all wanted just a couple years ago because he was so mean, right tackle and all that. Well, the film showing he get his brains beat out. Can't block nobody. He'll be out there tomorrow as your right tackle, Trevor Penning. If they don't put Michael Parsons over there tomorrow and just let him just destroy people, even though he's going to get a double team and all that, whoever lines up over there needs to cause pure havoc tomorrow. So we just got to, take advantage of the matchups that are there. Penning can be destroyed. I'm just telling y'all where it's at. The right side, the right tackle, the left tackle has back problem. I'm quite sure, as I said before, they're going to probably give him a shot in his back before he comes out and all that type of stuff. I think that we got a real shot to cause some real drama tomorrow. That's been my keys. That's what I've been looking forward to. You may have some, and I'm not saying my keys are the end all be all. I'm just saying those are things that I saw from watching a little film this week. The motion and all that type of stuff. I think Zimmer is the perfect candidate, coordinator and candidate to handle all this. I really believe that. I believe that he is the right man for the job at the right time. I believe that he's going to have our defense. I ain't said top 8, but I really do believe that, I got to see another week of it. And then, another few weeks. And then I'll really be able to say, okay, this defense is a problem. They're special. I got to see it. I got to see. Let me get the first 4 games under my belt, and then I can better say, okay, all right, every week, this is what I expect from the defense. I really can't say that now. Only thing I say is they look real good against Cleveland, and we'll see if we can add to that with New Orleans tomorrow. All right. I saw Joe put it up earlier. I need everybody here, first of all, do 2 things. Everybody smash that like button or heart button. Go ahead and do that now. Let me have about 20 apiece. And then the second thing, what I need you guys to do now is go ahead and type in what your prediction of the score will be tomorrow. Vegas has the Cowboys as a 7-point favorite. That's scary within itself, but there's a 7-point favorite. What you think? Put in your score for me so I can see what y'all think. I don't do predictions. Cowboys burnt me a couple years ago where it was that Arizona game a couple years ago. I said I'll never predict them. I got in my mind what I think is going to happen, but I'm not predicting it. I just put it like this. I think the Cowboys should win. Joe says 45-10. Good Lord of mercy. Whew. Wow. The Cowboys put that kind of score up again. It's going to be a lot of talk. They'll be saying what Joe saying right here. Everybody say, well, y'all did that against the Browns, then you did the Saints. Let's see you do that against Baltimore Ravens. That's what they're going to be saying. All right, Greg says 42-16 Cowboys. Man, y'all ain't giving the Saints no chance. Robert says 24-17. Cowboys, I'm assuming. Michelle says 30-18. Oh, y'all ain't giving the Saints a chance for nothing. Ooh, hey. Y'all really believe in Mike Zimmer, don't you? I do too. I do too. I do too. Wow. What else? Somebody give me another score. Type it in. What's your prediction on the game tomorrow? 31-17, Terry says. Good guys. It's Cowboys. That's a blowout. Good Lord. Hey, y'all expecting another dusting. Y'all expecting us to take the Saints behind. Y'all expecting us to take them behind the woodshed. You know, and tell them we ain't Carolina. We finna go and show you. Go and take y'all out. Wow. Y'all act like this is another scrimmage game or something. Really? Oh boy, here go the drama. G-Ball says, you say G-Ball, 28-27. If I can get it to stay here. 28-27 Cowboys. That's close. That's a lot of points too. I'm gonna say this. I just don't see our defense giving up those type of points. I just can't see it. I think we're too good. I will say that. I just don't think that we are. I just don't see our defense giving up those type of points. Chris, what's going on, Chris? Chris says, good Lord, another blowout. 30-10. Wow. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't see the Saints scoring 20 points. I've seen enough from our defense to make that prediction. I don't see them getting 20 points. I don't. Most of you are going pretty much, you know, when I look back up at it, most of you are between 14 and 17. Michelle put up 30-18. G-Ball is the closest one, added as a close game, 28-27. I missed one. Chris Johnson says, he said, we're at the house on turf, 38-14. Right. Y'all know what y'all saying when y'all see this, right? Y'all really do believe in Mike McCarthy when y'all saying all this now. That's a lot of points. And then you also saying that you definitely believe in Mike Zimmer, because that ain't a lot of points. 14, 17, you know, that's not a lot. And the Cowboys, to be honest with you now, y'all, they should score a lot of points. You know why? Because I'm convinced they're going to be starting their offensive series out on the 30-yard line, because ain't too many more teams going to kick the Cavante Turpin. It's not going to happen. It's not. They're not going to kick the Turpin anymore. They're not. He won't get. He will not. After what we saw last week with the punt return, Turbin is not going to get a lot of time. That he is turning into. He's always have been, but he's turning into a very serious weapon. And they'll rather just go and let the Cowboys start at the 30, which means you need about 25 yards to be in field goal range. Anything inside the 50 is field goal range for Mr. Aubrey. I think teams would rather do that than kick it to him. I just can't see Turpin get a lot of work. Not after last week. See, you ain't got to see him at one time. You ain't finna let Turpin burn you. He has capabilities just by going to the house every week. You just can't take a chance on it. So I really can see 30 points. Plus, if the Cowboys are getting the ball at the 30, every starting out the drive, you asking for it. That's what I see, y'all. So it sounds like to me that the chat, overall the ones that commented, obviously believe that this is gonna be a blowout tomorrow. That's what I see. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a blowout, but I think that the Cowboys should win. By 10 points at least. I think so. I think that the Saints are about to get a avalanche thrown at them defensively that they just ain't ready for. This defense we got is fast and hungry. And that is a dangerous combination when you playing defense. They're hungry and they're fast. And that's when you get some real lethal stuff going on. They on the hunt. Gerald, my cousin here, Gerald says 27-13. It's just the way that they got a first place schedule, Chris. We played the West this year. We played the West year before. I don't know how they set it up like that, but yeah, especially if you playing fantasy football and you have Brandon Aubrey as your kicker, you're very pleased right now because he scores just about as much as running backs does. He does. He's due. Dang, they give you 15 points if you play fantasy football. So with each however long it is, you get the points. So if it's a 50-yard field goal, he makes it. That's 5 points. So you can imagine how many points he gets. 40 yards, that's 4 points. 33 points. This dude is averaging almost 15 points a game. Now you would love to see, some of those field goals. You had to kick them, but good Lord, Cowboys are scoring. Offense is scoring touchdowns. Shoot, if they score a touchdown, they're gonna score 50. I think that we're gonna be ready to play tomorrow. Cowboys look like they have a chip on their shoulder already. We saw it last week. I really believe that they're kind of on I ain't gonna say a revenge tour, but I think that the bitter taste of last year's game against Green Bay in the playoff game is still in their head. It's still got that bad taste in their mouth. And so far, at least one game, they look like it. So let's see if we can crank that thing up tomorrow. One game at a time. We're 1-0. Those that say, well, wait till January. Well, you can't get to January until you win week by week. Wait until the playoffs. Well, you got to win games to get to the playoffs. You can't bypass this. And let me say this. All you Dallas Dak Prescott haters, really then it shouldn't be no surprise because y'all the ones that said, well, he just a regular season quarterback. Well, it's a regular season right now, so you should be expecting him to go off tomorrow. Shouldn't be no surprise, right? Since the Cowboys, all they can do is in the regular season. Well, it's a regular season game tomorrow, so I'm gonna let y'all keep crying, saying he ain't played nobody. Well, we played Cleveland. That was a playoff team. So far, so good. So far, so good. We gonna go take these Saints out tomorrow and try to make it 2-0. I ain't looking to January yet. I'm looking at to tomorrow, 2-0. All you got is what's in front of you. And tomorrow, the Saints are in front of us, 2-0. It's just that simple. Ooh, I can't wait till y'all play Baltimore. I can't wait till y'all play Detroit. I can't wait till y'all play the Houston Texans. We'll see them. They on the schedule. It's going to happen. I can't wait till y'all see the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. They on the schedule. We coming. We coming. It ain't time yet. It's only time for one team. That's the New Orleans Saints. That's all we worried about. Week by week. 2-0. That's what they started to lean on. He's 2-5 in the playoffs. Well, he gonna be 2-5 after we whoop the Saints this week. He gonna be 2-5 in week 10. We can't get to the play. We can't worry about his playoff record until we finally get to the playoffs. It ain't time to worry about the playoffs. You got to win the regular season to get to the playoffs or have a good enough record so you can go to the playoffs. All I know is we 1-0. That's all I know. 1-0. That's all I know. Led by Dak Prescott, captain of this team, the captain. That's all I know. We 1-0. I don't know nothing about last year. I don't know. All I know is we 1-0. Trying to get to 2-0. Everything else, you ain't talking about nothing. You're not. I'm almost through about talking about Green Bay game last year. It's a total different team. We got players on this team weren't even there last year. Huh? Exactly, Chris. It's the truth. You said something here. Y'all read that. Y'all see what he said? They'll try it. They will. Instead of giving Dak Prescott credit, they're going to try to shoot it down. It's just the truth. All right. Phone line is open. It's right there. Call in line 901-654-6853. You can call in right there. Call in with your perspective about tomorrow's game. You can do that right now. I got the phone on. You can do it right now. 901-654-6853. You can call in right now. If not, we're going to go ahead and shut it down and let you enjoy the rest of your football Saturday. And I'll be getting ready to see my nephew play later this evening. I'm a little sleepy now, too, man. Greg says, very interesting. Greg, I need you to keep typing. You say this Cowboys, 2024 Cowboys is different, especially the Cowboys defense. Greg, what's so different? I'm not knocking you. Actually, I agree with you. But I want to see when you went with the defense. Is it simple as because the defense was good last year? They weren't just good in the Green Bay game, playoff game, but they were good. So is it simply because I'm asking Greg this, and everybody else you can join in? Is it because Greg that it's simply Mike Zimmer? Does Mike Zimmer make that much of a difference defensively? Appreciate you, Jay Bird. Answer that for me, Greg. I just want to see where you at, where you coming from, why you say it's different. Is it because of the Chris Johnson said because of discipline? Now we still had penalties, Chris. We still had offensive penalties. Greg says Zimmer's scheme takes advantage of the opponent's weaknesses. So you're saying that it really, because of Zimmer, because it affects both sides of the ball. If the defense is popping, it's going to get more possessions to the offense. So does Zimmer make that much of a difference? Chris Johnson says gap integrity. He's talking from the defensive side, real linebackers with experience. So all that is attributed to Mike Zimmer as well. So really what y'all saying is, well, we can't say that because we were dominant. Cowboys, last week kept people in front of them. Wasn't no big plays. Wasn't none of that. You had to earn every yard. That's what it looked like. I was gonna say we'll slightly bend but don't break defense, but I can't say that because they were shutting them down. It was a lot of 3 and outs last week. Chris says, I meant the defense looked like a unit. Not a bunch of individuals trying to make a play. I don't think they looked like that last year, though, Chris. Quinn had these guys humming last year. They looked like a team last year. They just had a bad game against Green Bay, and everybody want to act like that's the way they played the whole year. No, that's not the case. And we didn't have the personnel that we had last year. We didn't have any linebackers. They all got hurt, and then we had safeties playing. So it's different because we got guys who aren't hurting. And we're able to, did a nice little drafting of linebacker and free agency. It makes a difference when you got true linebackers here. So if it's just that simple as that, then then I got to give credit to Will McClay and his crew for drafting. Or free agent, whichever way you want to look at it. They have addressed the issues that we've had for years. Defensive tackle, they we don't know how good it's gonna be. They did address it. We have linebackers. What's up, Eric? We have linebackers finally. That has made a difference. So when you say Jay Freeman says the offense has to step up. I can't really I can't kill the offense yet. I can't kill the offense yet. I think they played well last week. And the game dictated that they didn't have to really, go above and beyond. They did enough to put points on the board. We did score 33. So, that's about what we do. We used to get 30 up. So, I don't know. Terry says we never stopped the run last year. That's true. And so far this year, we checked that box. So far. So far. We'll see what Kamara does tomorrow. See if we can shut him down. Don't need him having a big game. Just have to see. Chris said anytime, that was last year. Chris says anytime a team decide to run against us, we were all over the place. Cardinals, Bills, Niners, not just Green Bay. That's 1,000% accurate. But this year, if you try to decide to run now, you're going to have a few problems. You are. He said, what about people saying Shador coming to the Cowboys? The Cowboys never said it. That's all I cared about. You're going to have all these pundits running their mouth because they got to get the ratings up and everything else. So, Shador was not going to come to Dallas anyway, if you ask me. Do you know how much losing the Dallas Cowboys had to do in order to get up into the top 5, top 6 pick in the draft? Do you know how much losing you got to do? Can you imagine the record of the Cowboys if they were drafted second or third? We talking about only having four or 5 wins, maybe. But Shador's not coming here because Cowboys signed that. And you're not drafting a Shador Sanders and let him sit for 4 years. Dion wouldn't even want that. Dion gonna play that role like he did when he was drafted. When, the Detroit Lions were sitting there and they decided they weren't gonna do it because Dion said that he ain't playing there. But Shador's gonna have the same type of vibe. And forget Dion, he gonna have that Eli Manning vibe. Y'all do remember that Eli was the number 1 pick to the Chargers. And then his daddy said he ain't playing in San Diego. Orchestrated the trade, and he's been New York Giant. Y'all saw that. Yeah, so I don't want Shador. I got the quarterback that who's only going up. That's one thing y'all got to say about Dak. Y'all may not like him. Some of y'all may not like him. But he get better every year. I mean, I don't know why, Shador needs lines. Shador needs to be clean. I'm not saying he can't make plays with his legs because he has. I'm just saying when you already got your franchise quarterback, what you looking for another one for? You can look for another, maybe about another 3 years from now. But not now. Dak Prescott ain't going nowhere. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Excuse me. Whew. He will be a top 5 pick, Chris. He will be. If Daniel Jones can go in the top 5, Shador Sanders will be a top 5 pick. I mean, that's the truth. You know what he is. He got a lot of film out there. His film is way better, more positive than it is negative. So, the Cowboys, in my view, won't be looking for a replacement for Dak until maybe about 6 years from now. So, if then, y'all know how old quarterbacks are playing. I mean, he number 31 years old. Even after the contract end this time, he only be 35. Yeah. I don't want Shador. I don't want Shador. Shador, even though he's a great player, he's entitled. He come in with money. Love to show out like his dad does. You know, you love to do it. I just don't want that coming. See, the Cowboys will never vote. I keep talking about a coach, but I'm even thinking a player. They're not ever gonna bring in a player that potentially could take all the spotlight from Jerry. Come on now. I can't see it. Shador would come in and automatically just about be the face of the franchise. Jerry Jones is the face of this franchise. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Not Shador. Who knows? They so stubborn. They might re-sign Trey Lance this offseason. They might try to make it happen with Trey Lance again. They quick not to give up, but it seems like they should. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people had thought all of a sudden he was coming. Man ain't coming to Dallas. That is very serious. All right, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Y'all enjoy the rest of this college football. I'll be watching my nephew, Devin Body Jr., wide receiver starter, as they play BYU tonight. Number 2 is his number. Those that might watch it. I'll be watching that tonight. Jay Bird says, trade to Miami. Interesting, Jay Bird. It was one of the content creators, the Lando Show, who has done a little research on that. Do y'all remember Jerry saying before the season started? Do y'all remember Jerry saying that when it comes to the running backs, that he's seen guys get picked up through a trade in the middle of the season to help your team win? That's a little clue right there. All right. The Cowboys need a bell cow, if you ask me. Okay. I think they need another one. They got a lot of running backs, but if you got that many and talking about sharing it like that, all it tells me you don't really have a true number one. I'm not saying Zeke, Deuce can't get the job done. I'm just saying that, if you really had a number one, really all you're going to need is 2 or 3 running backs, to be honest with you, because that's all who's going to get the ball. But I saw, 4 guys touch the ball, and Limkin didn't even get it yesterday. I mean, he could run it as well, but he didn't get it. I saw jet sweeps used for running plays between Turpin and CeeDee Lamb and Cooks. I saw that last week. So I'm saying, but to go back to what I was saying about Trey, well, I would think that there will be some teams that would be interested, in Trey Lance. Especially when you look at all these quarterbacks that's falling. Jordan Love went down. Tua, of course. Ain't no telling how when he gonna come back, if he comes back from another concussion. And here was the thing that Lando showed. I don't know if you follow him or not. The Lando Show, he's on Twitter. When Trey was drafted by the 49ers, guess who his quarterback's coach was? McDaniel, who's the head coach of Miami. The head coach of the Miami Dolphins was Trey Lance's quarterback coach when he went to the 49ers. So he's already familiar with him. McDaniel's kind of like a quarterback kind of type of coach. See what he did with Tua. What he turned them into. I think that's interesting. And if you're the Cowboys and you have made up in your mind that you are not going to re-sign him because his contract is up too, if you know you're not going to re-sign him, then you ought to get something back for him instead of just let him walk for free. You could get something for Trey Lance. You really could. So I think it would be a good fit for him to be in Miami. And whoever they running backs are, let me have it. Even though I know you're not going to get Raheem Monster, you're not going to get the fast kid, A-She or Shy, whatever his name is. You're not going to get him. Either one of those. But I think you can get something in return for Trey Lance, without a doubt. Let me put it this way. If they call Dallas, I'm listening. If somebody wants to acquire the service of Trey Lance, I'm listening. Because he's not going to beat out Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is the backup. So, it is what it is. No, I think he does, Chris. It's just that he's being overridden by the philosophies of Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones. They are the ones that don't want to pay a running back big money. And so McCarthy is forced to adopt this system of the way that the Cowboys do things. I do believe he believes in Bell kind of running back. When you look at his teams that he had, always, a real physical type running back, have two of them at least, and roll. I think that's just Steven being, having, what they said earlier in the summer. Why would we pay one guy X amount of dollars when there's the same amount of dollars we can get it for three people, and still equal up to that one salary? That's their mindset. That's how they operate. So, yeah. You say you doubt Tua will finish the season. It would be a great fit because that's the only other quarterback coach he's had, which is McDaniel. And let's just be honest. Trey Lance, before he started having his injury, he was the starter for the San Francisco 49ers. I think that'd be a great fit for him to go back to his coach that helped him when he first got here to the league. I think it would be a great fit. He's not going to play in Dallas, that's for sure. All right, got a $2 super chat. Super chat from Terry says, how many rushing yards tomorrow? I'll go with that. I will say about 115 total yards running the ball. Chat, what y'all say? How many rushing yards do y'all think we will get tomorrow? Everybody answer Terry's question if you don't mind. How many rushing yards do you see? Y'all over there on Twitter that's watching, type it in real quick. How many yards do you see on Twitter? Y'all on Twitter, y'all be quiet over there too. I be having a lot of folks watching on Twitter and nobody says absolutely nothing to me. If you're on Twitter, how many rushing yards total? It's for everybody, of course. How many rushing yards total do y'all see tomorrow? Michelle says 125 if you're on yards. Twitter, 125 yards. Let me see if Twitter works. Let me just put a comment on it. I'm watching y'all live right now on Twitter too. I'm going to put a number up myself. Let me see. What I say, 115. I said 115. There it is. On X, there it is. Yay. So I know it's working. For all y'all that's on Twitter, put in how many yards y'all see us getting tomorrow. Bird says 98. Joe says, good Lord. Joe, you really looking for a blowout tomorrow. Joe says between all our running backs, right at 200 yards rushing. Wow. Wow. Michelle says 125. It ain't too far off from what I said. All right, I'm feeling you. See, if we get those type of yards, even if it's 125, like Michelle says, even Jay Bird said 98 yards. Even with 98 yards, that's still pretty good, because unless they were some chunk yards, you know what I'm saying? Unless it was just a big old 60-yard run or something like that. You know, if it's a grind out type of, game plan, at least they tell me you're committed to the running game. So I'll take that. Terry says every week I say 157. I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't think we're gonna do what Joe said either, right at 200 yards, but I just don't see the commitment to the running game being that deep. They got to give Dak his stats, and CD. They got to give CD the ball. That's just got to happen. I just can't see us, doing all that. Running like that. It will be nice, but I doubt it. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else can see it? If you're on Twitter, come on, hit me up real quick. Hit me up. I just want to see somebody else. I just like to know who watched me from Twitter. William, what's up? William done broke it down for us. He says Zeke will have 52, Rick will have 40, Dak will have 15. William, let me play devil's advocate here. I don't think Dak gonna have that many, but replace Dak with Deuce, because what we've heard this week is that Mike McCarthy really does want to put the ball in Deuce's hand. So substitute that, William. You ain't got to type it no more. Just put down how many yards you think Deuce may have. Because right now, what you have, that's 5, 7, that's 7, that's 9. That's 107 yards. 107 yards total that Williams is predicting. That sound about right. See, I'll take Zeke with 52 yards, and he'll have 2 touchdowns. See, anytime the ball get inside 5-yard line, I would take Zeke having 10 carries for 52 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns. I'll take that. That's going to be Zeke's job this year. Anything inside the 5-yard line, he's going to get his chance to go a lot of touchdowns this year. Yeah. I believe that 1,000%. William says that McCarthy is going to throw, and the Saints will run and keep Dak on the sideline because they don't want to get into a shootout with him. I agree. Lamb can get 20 yards, Derek says. Yeah, on that jet sweep, sometimes he line up in the backfield, but primarily that jet sweep, he get 20 yards easy. I agree. Anybody else with prediction on how many yards that you think that we will have for the game rushing yard? Not an individual, just the rushing yards. Anybody else before I close up the shop? Hey, listen, I appreciate all you guys hanging with me. I might do a post-game show tomorrow. I think I will. It'll be my first part. It won't be long because Monday night I'll go in more depth with whatever we see on tomorrow. So I might do a real quick post-game show tomorrow, maybe about maybe about an hour or two after the game. I'll probably be doing the afternoon game when I'll do mine. So we'll see it. Joe says against a good Cleveland defense, 102 yards. We rushed for 102. Saints defense isn't that good. They are not. They are not on the level of Cleveland. But their weakness, though, Joe, is their secondary. That's the weakness. It's not the rushing defense. It's the secondary. So y'all know how we are. We already, the way I look at McCarthy, he want to throw the ball anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. All right. I appreciate y'all. Listen, we'll be with you tomorrow at some point after the game. At some point after the game, just turn on those loud notifications. We'll talk about tomorrow what we saw. We either going to be real happy and we're going to be mad. James Bird, I see you there. Thank you for Twitter. Now, I'm excited now. Somebody said, James Bird, I see you. Thanks for saying something on Twitter. I can see you. I told you, I don't know why y'all don't think I can't see your comment. You see I got it up there. Appreciate you, James. Is that you, Jay, over here? You just switched over, right? Is that the same? Yeah, Jay Bird, that's you. You went from YouTube over there. Man, I appreciate you popping over there. I can see you, Jay Bird. I see you. G-Ball says 140 rushing yards. Come on in, call in now, Terry. I told you to call in. I'm just about to get off. Terry, you can call in right now. 901-654. Yeah, that's you. I know it's you. I figured that out. But I got you. Yeah, I got you, Jay. Every comment you put down, I'm good. Whoever else on Twitter over there, I told you I can see y'all. I appreciate y'all. Call in now, Terry, if you want. 901-654-6853. Call in right now. Got a new stance on Prescott. And I know you're a chief cat of Dak Prescott. You don't like him too much. You know, we've all had issues with Dak, but get better every year, man. That's one thing you can't. He may not be on the level you may think he need to be on, but that still don't diminish that he's not getting better every year. He's just one, you know, it really ain't all on him, but there it is. There's Terry.
Call from Terry Turner. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
There he is. Terry.
Hey, big time.
What up, Doc?
How's it going, bro?
Man, I'm trying.
Out here doing the honey-do list, and in doing the honey-do list, we stopped off looking at some houses and everything. I had a real sharp pain in the wallet this morning. I knew something was going on, but that's on another note.
Oh, man.
But while we over here looking at these beautiful houses, that of course I'm doing I carry the wallet thing, and the people telling you how you can afford to do it and all that.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, yeah. But I got a new stance with Dak Prescott because I looked at it as a whole. Romo, Dak, lately these guys never played with a real defense.
Never.
Or they could not that's why Romo threw so many of those I got to make it happen passes and things of that nature. Even if you remember the game when we went to Denver and Romo played out of his mind.
Yeah.
And then everybody went to blame Romo at the end of the game. Romo knew because the defense had already showed him that if you put it in our hands, all we're going to do is pee down our legs. Because, I mean, it kept going back and forth, back and forth. That don't put no confidence in the offense.
No. And you just about had to score on every drive.
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, the offense had to hold the ball, and they held the ball, and the defense, I mean, they never woke up. They didn't come to play. They did not come to play.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? If Dak just keeps being Dak, if he got a defense, because he was so much further along than I gave him credit for. I gotta take it back because he's switching the protection. He's covering up the ones who suck because it was a time when Steele sucked, but Dak kept covering him up.
Yeah.
Love covers a multitude of faults.
Yeah.
So, and Steele was bad. He was bad, but Dak was covering for him.
Yeah.
And certain plays they couldn't run and things they couldn't do. And there's a lot more going on to it, but we don't see that. We just see Dak.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm just saying that if he got a defense that can hold, and if Emma keep everybody at 17 points,
oh yeah,
I don't see no reason why them boys can't get down in the playoffs.
Yeah, as of right now, I agree with 1,000% what you just said, and I'm about to tell everybody something as soon as you get off about that. As soon as you get off, I'm gonna close out with that comment because I think it goes a little deeper than what we're thinking, and I'm going to tell everybody that right now. Terry, I appreciate you.
All right, bro. You have a blessed one.
All right, thank you, man. That's my brother Terry Turner, who's a loyal follower and subscriber of the show, who patronizes the show. Listen, if you're on YouTube, you can become a member of the show. I think it asks you that. You can do that. You can make a commitment to the show. $2 a month, $3 a month, whatever. You don't have to be. I'm not asking for $20 and all that type of stuff. You can just become a member just by putting, $2 a month. It is what it is. But he also does the Cash App. Excuse me, I'm sorry, the super chat that you saw him do earlier. So I appreciate Terry. Terry just reminded me of something that I had. I had it in my head. I didn't have it in my notes. But let me say this. I want to carry y'all minds back to the San Francisco playoff games. So that means the one in Dallas, for those that can remember. I also need you to go back to the San Francisco game in San Francisco and the regular season game in San Francisco and a Premier Elite Transport. How you doing? How you doing, Premier Elite Transport? I don't know you. Who I know? Do I know you, Premier Elite Transport? Do I know you? If not, welcome to the show. If you're not following the show, just since you're on one of my channels, go ahead and hit the like button and turn on notifications for that. But go also to the Green Bay game last year. I love to harp on, since everybody remember Dak's turnover so much. That's fine. Perfect. I need you to remember those turnovers. The pick six from Green Bay game last year, playoff game. Also remember the turnovers that he had against San Francisco. And remember, y'all, just about every turnover or pick six primarily was in the hands of linebackers. Y'all remember that? You can go back to the regular season game. Fred Warner. Last year, the guy that caught a pick six last year was a linebacker. We tried to run a little slant there. The linebacker didn't see. The linebacker couldn't in. Y'all remember all this? Let me tell y'all why. Mike Zimmer is truly going to be the MVP of this team this year. I ain't lying. I know Mike Zimmer don't put on a helmet. I know he don't. But Mike Zimmer, y'all, I heard this today from Jesse Holly, and I had to rewind it and listen. I'm going to give him his credit because he's the one that thought about this. I think it was Jesse Holly, who works for the Cowboys. I believe that's him. Or Isaiah Stanback is one of the two. This is what he said. He said Dak Prescott is a real great quarterback, good quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the league, who really has, he always at the top of completion percentage. He's always somewhere at the top of QBR. He led the league in touchdowns. He's always up there, over 4,000 yards every year, 30 touchdowns almost every year, as long as he's healthy. This is what he does. Fine. He said, but the Achilles heel of Dak Prescott, he said everybody knows it, is that he was always fooled from disguises. Y'all catch it? In other words, what he's saying is pre-snap, Dak sometimes gets fooled by pre-snap and disguise. Or even when you think they're coming, they drop him back. So when you think about that and think about the turnovers that he had from linebackers, which is primarily what we saw in every playoff game. Not every playoff game. I'm saying the ones where he's had interceptions is pretty much come from linebackers. Really, rarely is it from, cornerbacks and stuff like that. I know the boy from the 49ers caught a couple years ago. I get that. That was just bad route running by the time. Oh my God, Gallup at the time. But if his linebackers there, that means what he think he's seeing is not the case. Because every time he threw it, the Green Bay game, he didn't see the linebacker there trying to run a slant. And that same slant, Fred Warner caught the same thing. So he's not seeing it. This is where Mike Zimmer is going to be the MVP. Because if that is the Achilles heel of Dak Prescott, that is the strength of Mike Zimmer. And Mike Zimmer's greatest thing, you heard Drew Brees talk about it this week. I know some of y'all saw that. Drew Brees said is that he has to go through, when he played it, Mike Zimmer, I'm talking about Brees, one of the greatest of all time. He said there's never been a coordinator that he had so much mental anguish about like he had when he had to go against Zimmer. Zimmer gave him the most problems. Why? Because you never could figure it out. He says, when you think they're coming, they're dropping back. When they drop back, you don't think they're coming. When you think one is lined up, one will bust out to the flat, kind of like what Parsons did last week. Instead of sending two, you send in one. And then when you send two, they drop back quick, and then the blitz comes from the other side. It's just nothing but mental stuff. Well, guess what Dak Prescott get to see every day in practice? You got it. Mike Zimmer's defense. Disguises. Steinbeck or Jesse Holly, whichever one of those guys, what I'm talking about, they said that the Achilles heel about Dak Prescott has always been disguise. Well, he got one of the greatest defensive coordinators that he get to go against every day. So in other words, it's just me talking now. Could it be that Dak Prescott, and I'm going to take your mind back, all right? It just goes to show you the elevation of Dak. Y'all remember the touchdown that he threw to Cooks? Did y'all see how Dak saw something, changed the entire play, gave the receiver Cooks which route to run, slid the protection to where it was supposed to be, even though the dude got up on him, he knew it was coming, and he had just enough time to throw off his back foot, ran the Cooks wide over the end zone. That's elite level quarterback play. Cleveland had people up. They disguised it. They did drop one back on that zero coverage thing. Dak saw it. Perfect little pass, touchdown. Could it be, hey, that maybe some of the stuff that has went on since training camp has already benefited Dak? See, if that's the Achilles heel of Dak Prescott, he's going to get better at it because of who his defensive coordinator is and Mike Zimmer. He's going to get to see all that. He's going to get to see a linebacker sneak up and then drop back immediately. Things that you thought you saw, you don't see. That, that he's had problems with before. He's going to see all of that now. He's seeing it. And that's why a lot of us are saying Dak Prescott probably going to have his best year this year than he had last year. Because of Mike Zimmer. I'm telling y'all better pay attention. I'm serious. I had to listen to that statement about 3 times. I said, you know what? You're right. That has always been kind of like the Achilles heel of Dak. Is you think you see something and then it's something that you're not. This is what he can do for you. I don't know why I waited till the last minute to do that, but there it is. Seriously. Y'all better understand what's going on, man. I'm telling you, Mike Zimmer's impact is goes well beyond just defense. He's doing the same thing to Dak Prescott. Let them see one thing and it's really something else. And what you think you figured out, he give you another angle. You got to be on your P's and Q's. So Dak Prescott is getting an advanced course in quarterback play just because of Mike Zimmer being there. It's crazy, man. I'm serious, y'all. It's some good stuff going on. All right. I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Thanks for popping in with me. I'll be with you guys tomorrow at some point after the game. Just turn on those live notifications. Hopefully we'll come on with a big smile on our face, and hopefully the Cowboys handle business tomorrow. Continue on this long journey, and hopefully we'll come back with some hypeness. Yeah. I see you, B Bird. I mean, J Bird. J Bird says yes to me. Dak has had an issue with adjusting after his first read pre-snap and not adjusting when the defense is disguised. I hope you're right and Zion helps with that. Dak could really take a step forward. I believe that's going to happen, Jay. I believe we saw, if everybody got all 22 or whatever, go back to the play where he threw the touchdown to Brandon Cooks and watch Dak work with the pre-snap. Because he took over the responsibility of Cooper Beebe. Beebe calls out stuff, but Dak took over it by adjusting because he saw the zero blitz. I don't know if Beebe called the wrong thing. He very well may call the right protection. I don't know. But I know Dak did a lot of work before the ball was snapped. That's advanced quarterback play. And it was disguised. So what I'm saying is, like I said, Mike Zimmer is a real benefit to everybody. And yes, even to Dak Prescott. So I think that's only going to get better. That's a great comment, James. That's the truth. That is what they say his Achilles heel, or you got the kind of coordinator now that will help you in your, with your Achilles heel. So I know we one game in, but if you want to look for something, without the tape, watch tomorrow how Dak works pre-snap. Just watch. And you'll know it's the right play if he gets us in the right plays. You'll notice that. And I really do believe that you can't minimize the impact of Mike Zimmer that he's had with Dak Prescott. They ain't talking about that, but I am. I'm talking about it because I can actually see this happening. I believe he goes through a crash course every week playing against that defense. I really do. All right. Happy Cowboy Day tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We out of here. I appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for listening to the one and the only. This has been the Big Time Show.